A Freedom of Information Act request reveals Joe Biden wrote over 82,000 emails using a fake name and an illegal email address while serving as vice president. 82,000 pages of emails. Can you believe that? Congress prepares for shutdown unless Ukraine gets more American taxpayer dollars. And Hillary Clinton says America must support Israel, crushing Hamas into the ground. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, so thank you so much. With a fresh Speaker of the House in place, the GOP has just unveiled a new $14.3 billion aid package for Israel. Unfortunately, this is likely only the start of negotiations, as the package includes $14.3 billion in funding cuts for the IRS, which won't be popular among Democrats. Remember, they wanted to give $80 billion so that they could tax us into the grave, but now they want to give that to Ukraine. Additionally, the package is not combined with aid for Ukraine. What? They're actually going to separate this into two different bills, but there's already pushback as people say these will not pass. We need those tax dollars for Israel and Ukraine. Now, in response to the GOP's proposal to cut IRS funding to pay for Israel's aid, the White House responded very negatively. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre called the move a non-starter, stating demanding offsets for meeting core national security needs of the United States, like supporting Israel and defending Ukraine from atrocity and Russian imperialism, would be a break with the normal, bipartisan process and could have devastating implications for our safety and alliances in the years to come. Aren't you kind of ready for something that is out of the norm? Like, I'm ready for them to break the normal, because the normal is causing high inflation. They're stealing our money. They're giving it to everybody but Americans. It's insane. But no. You must do what we've always done, right? That's the status quo of Washington, D.C. Conservative nonprofit Southeastern Legal Foundation has successfully sued the National Archives after they refused to provide information regarding President Joe Biden's pseudonym-linked emails. Thankfully, they were forced to release the info to comply with the Freedom of Information Act, which requires the government information be available to the public. The released info has shown 82,000 pages worth of emails were sent or received by 3 different private email addresses, all run by Joe Biden. Now, why would Joe Biden need a fake name and fake emails to send out 82,000 pages of information while vice president? So what does this mean? Because they haven't been released yet. We can only speculate, but some believe evidence of his corrupt business dealings between he and Hunter and his 2 brothers are likely buried within these 82,000 pages. But let me know your thoughts down below. Why would a vice president need a fake email? And why would there be 82,000 pages of information that the National Archive is proactively trying to block the American public from reading? Let me know your thoughts down below. While we're on the topic of emails, let's talk about Hillary Clinton. No, not the emails that she acid washed and beat with a hammer. Clinton disagreed with the White House and Joe Biden and stated, having a ceasefire with Hamas would be a horrible idea. She stated, people who are calling for a ceasefire now do not understand Hamas. That is not possible. It would be such a gift to Hamas, because they would spend whatever time there was for a ceasefire, in effect, rebuilding their armaments, creating stronger positions to be able to fend off an eventual assault by the Israelis. So she's for the attack on Hamas. It's actually really refreshing to hear Hillary Clinton go against the narrative, especially when a top leader of Hamas just stated they need the blood of women, children, and the elderly of Gaza to awaken their revolutionary spirit. Basically, they need more human shields. Now, the people of Palestine continue to be abused. It's just really terrible. And Hamas is the one doing most of the abuse. Now, ironically enough, this same hate-filled leader is hiding out in Qatar, living in luxury. Former Trump aide Michael Caputo stated, "How is the civilized world to take this war against Hamas seriously while the Stone Age cultists remain alive, spewing hate at the lap of luxury in Qatar?" We know exactly where he is. We know everywhere he goes. We know every blood-soaked hair on the heads of his entire clan. So basically, they know exactly where he is. We may end up with another General Soleimani-like situation, but I'll continue to keep you updated on that. A federal judge in Texas has just demanded that the Biden administration stop dismantling barbed wire along the border placed by the state of Texas. The judge claimed the Biden administration is facilitating unlawful conduct instead of preventing it. While this is a win for the GOP, the demand will likely be challenged by President Biden and his administration. These guys are literally saying, take down the barbed wire, open the fences, let the illegals come in. We want more people. Let them in, let them in, let them in. And then they have a press conference and they're like, the border's not open. We're doing everything within our power to shut this down. It's complete and total bald-faced lies. And now a quick message from today's video sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. A few years ago, I was injured in an auto accident. At first, I didn't want to hire a lawyer because I felt bad for the woman that hit me. But I learned from the law firm that they would be going after the insurance company to make me whole and not the woman. Morgan & Morgan have modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and communicate with your legal team all over the phone. So if you're ever injured in an auto accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less without having to leave your couch. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Stephen Gardner or dial pound law. That's pound 529 from your cell phone. All right, let's get back to today's news update. The country of Yemen has declared war on Israel and fired missiles at her. Their military government says they will continue to throw drones and missiles at Israel until they stop attacking Palestine. Now, this is a developing story, but this is the first of potentially many countries to declare war on Israel. The United Autoworkers Union has finally reached a deal with all 3 major auto companies they were at odds with. At minimum, auto workers can now expect a 25% pay increase over the next 4 years. Biden championed the deal, stating, "We have more to do, but we're finally beginning to build an economy that works for the working people, for the middle class, for the entire country, including the companies." Now, Biden did nothing but show up for 12 minutes. He only spoke to people for 84 seconds. This is on record. You can Google that. But now he's taking credit for it, even though it was the president of UAW who likely did most of the heavy lifting. Former President Donald Trump has responded to the new gag order placed on him regarding his election interference trial in Washington, D.C. Trump bashed the judge who issued the order, claiming she should have recused herself due to Trump-hating bias. Trump stated this order, according to many legal scholars, is unthinkable. It's illegally and unconstitutionally takes away my First Amendment right of freedom of speech in the middle of my campaign for president. But I will appeal. How can they tell the leading candidate that he, and only he, is seriously restricted from campaigning in a free and open manner? It will not stand. Now, do you believe the judge has the right to make President Trump not openly talk or campaign or talk during his campaign? Or do you think that this is election interference? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Reporter Brian Stelter has just released a new book which contains exclusive insight into Rupert Murdoch's decision to fire Tucker Carlson. Stelter details that Murdoch claimed Carlson got too big for his boots before being fired. This saying simply means that Murdoch believes Carlson was arrogant and was having too much success, and it became a threat, one that they couldn't control. Now, Stelter also spoke to one of Carlson's producers who claimed, "It was always going to end badly. We knew we were burning too bright." Now, speaking of controversy, famous podcaster Joe Rogan interviewed Elon Musk on George Soros and what some call the deep state. In his own opinion, Musk stated he thinks Soros fundamentally hates humanity because he's getting DAs elected who refuse to prosecute crime. No wonder crime is skyrocketing in some cities. Now, Musk claimed that Soros found that spending money on electing presidents and senators was lower value than on state district attorneys, because if nobody chooses to enforce the law, or if the laws are differently enforced, it's like changing the laws. Now, I've never actually heard it explained this way, but I think Elon Musk is absolutely right. They are trying to create chaos. You can't do that by spending $1 billion to get a president elected, but you can spend 50 to 100,000 to get a district attorney and then tell them, hey, why don't you just let everybody commit crime? And that's exactly what they've done. Former senior Trump administrator Kash Patel claimed he has evidence that the Department of Justice has been caught red-handed, spying on them during the period he was investigating their ties to the Russia collusion hoax. Now, according to newly released subpoenas, the DOJ obtained personnel records, including private communications from companies like Google, during the time Patel may have been viewed as a political threat to the Department of Justice. Patel stated, "They do not have a justification to surveil myself and other senior congressional staffers. Their justification was the weaponization of justice, to seek vengeance against the people that were exposing their unlawful activities. We caught them red-handed," and it looks like they have. So they were spying on them while trying to convince the American public that they were spies for Russia, right? They are doing exactly what they say their enemy is doing. It's absolutely insane, but we're on to their game. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you so much for being in my YouTube community. Please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and check out this interview from earlier today. It's fantastic. Also, check out this video. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video.